Yo, so I'm out here in Banff. We just finished this cool project. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it really quick. So yeah, this is the big mural cube we just finished. This is a portrait of Sitting Wind. And so Sitting Wind was a chief in Morley. And he united the three families, the Chiniki, Wesley, and Bearspaw families. So he was a really well-respected chief in this area. He was also the grandfather. He's the grandfather of three of the artists that I work with in collaboration on this piece. So the three other artists were Morin from Musqueam. We have Jarron Poucette, and we have Kyle Kaquitts. And again, all three of them, this is their grandfather. So it was an important Stoney chief. So this side is based on teachings from Elder Buddy Wesley. And he taught us about the different directions in the Stoney language. And he also taught us about the different trade items that were associated with each direction. So there were many things traded in each direction, but one important one was the Stoney people in this area would trade with the Cree people to the north, and they would trade horses. The horses came down from the north. To the east, they would trade for buffalo. And to the south, they would often trade for arrowheads and flints. And then to the west, they would trade for fish, different types of fish, sometimes ulikin, which is a type of fish you could use for making oil. And so this side is also heavily based on teachings from Elder Buddy Wesley. And some of the things that are going on this side, we're talking more about the trade items in this area. And along the bottom of this side, you can see sweetgrass. It's growing upwards and it's turning into braids. So it's sweetgrass is traditionally braided as a medicine, and so that's what's happening just naturally in the ground. On the right-hand side, those red berries are choke cherries. Sometimes their seeds were used as beads. On the left-hand side is a buffalo skull, and we put some tobacco down before we painted this one for sure. But this represents the buffalo that was very useful to people all over the plains, of course, but the Stoney people included. So on the hide, there's a bunch of drawings of different elements, different items that were traded, or different foods that were important for trade. And the frame of this piece is made out of birch trees, nice straight birch trees, and they've been carved with some traditional Stoney patterns based on some Stoney beadwork that we saw within the museum. So this piece is actually at the Whyte Museum in Banff. And Peter and Catherine Whyte were very friendly with many Stoney people. They had really good relationships, and so they had great relationships with many Stoney people. But Sitting Wind was one of the people they were connected with. So this side right here, this is the last side of the cube. Actually, I lied, it's not the last side. There's a top to the cube as well, but you guys won't be able to see it. I'm not quite that tall, but you can see it from inside the museum. So this side of the cube shows a necklace, and this necklace was showed importance. And so you put this necklace on a horse. It's actually a necklace for a horse, and it's an antelope horn is the pendant. And you put this necklace to show which horse is the fastest, the best horse. Yeah, so that was kind of that was an artifact that we found in the museum here, traditional piece, and we thought we wanted to show that we believed in our artwork and that our artwork was the fast horse of the art scene. So that was the idea behind this. So you can see some lines that go through, they traverse every side of the box, actually connect the sides. And the idea behind those lines is to represent the different trade routes in this area. And so we learned through a lot of Dawn Saunders Dahl research, she connected with many elders from this area, that the trade routes went a few different ways. So a lot of times people, of course, would travel by river, but in this area, there's the mountains that are really close. So traveling through the mountains passes and knowing which valleys were the right ones to take was really important too. So you can see these colored lines that go all over the sides of the cube, connect each side of the cube. These again represent those different trade routes in this area that were really important traditionally for getting goods that you couldn't produce, like for example, those arrowheads from the south. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. I just wanna make sure to shout out everybody again that was a huge part of this project. So it's here at the Whyte Museum. So Dawn Saunders Dahl is who brought this project together, and she's the one who's been doing all this research into the trade routes of this area. Also Jarron Poucette, Kyle Kaquitts, and my man, Mr. Morin. We're all a part of this as well. So shout out again to Morin, Jarron Poucette, Kyle Kaquitts, and Dawn Saunders Dahl. And if you want to come check this out in person, it's in Banff in the back area of the Whyte Museum. And if you do come check it out, I'd say go inside the museum and look from the second level and see what's on top. I'll leave that as a surprise. And yeah, let us know what you think. All right, peace.